meetings, this can help this subject. Unilateral measures taken by the hegemonic system against independent states are among the challenges in the path of economic development of ECO countries. Solidarity among nations can actually be against these measures which are inconsistent with international law. Members of the PICO should reinforce consultations and synergy in order to prevent unilateral procedures and create a rule of international law in the global arena. In addition, with regard to the necessity of regional cooperations for the post-corona conditions, it is proposed that member states begin their cooperation in the field of producing corona vaccines. And I should say that the Islamic Republic of Iran expresses its readiness to exchange its experiences in this regard. At the end, I would like to emphasize that the Islamic Consultative Assembly of Iran can use all its potentials in order to improve the role and position of the ECO organization. In this regard, I would like to express support for the role which is going to be played by the parliaments of the member states in the format of PICO. Thank you for your attention.
Thanks, Excellency. Now I request His Excellency Mr. Zakir Zada Muhammad Tahir, Chairman of Majlis-e Numaindagan of Majlis-e Ali, Republic of Tajikistan.
محترم رئیس اسمبلی ملی جمهوری اسلامی پاکستان جناب اسد قیصر، رهبران محترم هیئت‌ها، خانمان و جنابان، از فرصت مناسب استفاده برده در خاتمه برای بار دیگر می‌خواستم منتداری صمیمی خود را
Sincere appreciation to the Chairman of the National Assembly of the Islamic Republic of Pakistan for organizing the second conference of the Parliamentary Assembly of Economic Cooperation Organization today at such a high level. I firmly believe that this forum will play an important role of the driver to integration processes in bolstering the contribution of the Parliamentary Assembly and create a reliable framework for further development of effective trade relations and in defining the priority areas for mutually rewarding economic collaboration. Strengthening integration processes and expanding collaboration between our countries within the ECO would create a conducive condition for the development of industrial cooperatives between the region's countries and thereby promote increased trade between each other, greater production, and last but not least, achievement of eventual objectives of our public policies, which is to reduce poverty and ensure public welfare. In this context, I would like to underscore the constructive role of the parliaments of the ECO member states as a lawmaking institution and mechanism for development of unified legal standards of our countries.
حاضرین محترم، این زمان کشورهای اعضای اسمبلی پارلمانی سازمان همکاری اقتصادی در گردش سودای خارجی جمهوری تاجیکستان سهمی نظررس دارند. در ساختار صادرات جمهوری به کشورهای متقدم نیروی برق
and cotton fiber prevail in the share of the region's countries in the export structure of my country. As for the import from the region's countries, it includes fuel and lubricant oils, power, natural gas, cereals, and food products. Alongside with this, currently foreign economic ties in the region are limited to import and export transactions only. There is still a room for development of other forms and methods of mutually beneficial cooperation, including implementation of joint projects, creation of joint ventures, launch of research and production cooperatives, introduction of the latest technologies and other windows for expansion of mutual trade. In this context, the parliaments of the organization's member states need to promote the enforcement of the adopted agreements. It is worth mentioning that Tajikistan acknowledges the importance of the documents it signed and ratified within the PAECO, including the Transit Trade Agreement, Agreement on Regional Transit Transport, and the Eco-Trade Agreement as the main means for regional cooperation. I have to emphasize that Tajikistan has removed customs export duties and has no new quantitative restrictions for export of or any other measure equivalent to that. It is vividly obvious that any single state in the current globalized world would be capable of addressing the existing global issues, particularly within the ongoing tough competition in the global financial markets. And we can ensure sustainable economic growth by establishing a unified economic space and closer intra-regional integration. Tajikistan intends to ensure further effective engagement in the activities of the PAECO and upgrade its multifaceted cooperation quantitatively and qualitatively. Tajikistan has been and will remain ardent supporter and committed to strengthening of regional trade cooperation within the ECO for the prosperity of the organization's member states. Ladies and gentlemen, Tajikistan proposes the issues like the creation of a proper transit and transport system, simplification of trade procedures, development of border trade, effective and rational use of water and energy resources, creation of a unified energy grid, and free movement and exchange of goods and labor force as the most important priority areas. We acknowledge the important role of parliaments of the PAECO member states in achieving these objectives. In our view, creation of free economic zones is one of the acceptable options for the translation of effective economic programs into practice. These zones, as a growth driver, would promote expansion of economic activities and enhancement of regional trade and transit of goods. At the conclusion, once again, I would like to extend my gratitude to Pakistan as a brotherly and friendly country for arranging this forum at high level and wish all of you, dear participants of the conference, good health and success. Thank you for your attention.
Thanks, Excellency. His Excellency Mr. Mustafa Shantop, Speaker of the Grand National Assembly of Turkey, will honor us with his views, please.
Mevkidaşım kıymetli parlamento başkanları, değerli milletvekilleri, değerli katılımcılar.
My counterparts, honorable, esteemed deputies, distinguished participants. We have successfully completed the second General Assembly of the Economic Cooperation Organization Parliamentary Assembly. During the two-day consultations, we have had the opportunity to evaluate face-to-face the roles and responsibilities that our parliaments could undertake in the subjects of trade and connectivity, development of tourism for poverty alleviation and development, and combating the global pandemic, which constitute the agenda of our assembly. PAECO, representing a geography extending from the Indian Sea to Europe, proved to us through this conference that it can play a more effective and important role in the development of humanitarian relations, economic, commercial, and social-cultural cooperation between our peoples who are fond of each other on the basis of deep-rooted historical ties. In order to transform this potential into energy and concrete projects, I hope to make efforts together with the understanding of cooperation and solidarity manifested here in the assemblies will continue with this spirit in the future during the meetings we will organize within the context of PAECO. Although the COVID-19 pandemic is not the first crisis we have experienced as humanity, it has caused havoc in the sectors that concern the economic, technical, and cultural fields which are the foundations of our assembly. This pandemic has been a test for all areas of human activities, from politics to economy, from sociology to health, in addition to the loss of life. In our General Assembly and in our bilateral contacts, we analyzed these issues extensively and agreed on possible solutions. Nevertheless, this predicament should not push us into pessimism. Throughout history, humanity has used this paradigm changes as an opportunity and has emerged stronger from crises. Some uncertainties that we have already experienced have pointed to the fundamental reforms we need to make in the international system, highlighting the need for international solidarity. With this crisis, by paying a high price this time, our world has realized that it needs to focus more on issues and bring about solutions to problems such as conflicts, immigration, refugees, xenophobia, and racism. The pandemic took lives in every country. The feeling of loss struck all humanity in the heart. I hope that this crisis, affecting all people regardless of race, color, nationality, sex, and age, will provide an opportunity for the manifestation of more humanist and integrated world that tolerates differences on the basis of the common suffering rather than the nation states becoming introverted as we currently see. Today, respected researchers from all over the world are conducting studies aimed at developing a vision of our countries following the global pandemic and calculating the impact of their role and capacity on their future position in the new global system that will emerge. I would like to express that in this context, I see it as a valuable call by Ambassador Aizaz Ahmed Chowdhury, former Minister of Foreign Affairs of Pakistan and the head of the Institute for Strategic Studies, to call on the international community to hold on to each other and build a new global system together. With these feelings and thoughts, I hope that the results we achieved in our conference will have auspicious reflections on the integration of our region, the increase of the stability and welfare of our countries, the diversification of the dialogue channels between our parliaments, and the peace and the well-being of our peoples. With the wish of seeing one another on our third General Assembly, I would like to express my thanks to His Excellency Esad Kaiser, to all colleagues, to all authorities who have exerted efforts. I greet you all with respect, and I extend my regards to you all. May Allah keep you safe.
Thank you very much, Excellency. I now request Chairperson of Majlis-e-Turkmenistan, Excellency Madam Gulshat Mahmudova for her address. The speaker will be joining us from Ashgabat. Madam, floor is yours.
Çok sağ olun. Salam, hürmetli başlık. Hormatly konferensiya katnaşçılar. Şu yıl Türkmenistan'ın başlangıcı bilen Birleşen Milletler Kurulmasyna Avrupa döwletleriniň gollamagy iltifatynda.
This prestigious organization adopted a special resolution 2021, the year of international peace and trust. I'm sure that the issues on the agenda of this conference will also contribute to the strengthening peace and trust in the region and around the world. Dear conference participants, under the leadership of esteemed President Gurbanguly Berdimuhamedov, Turkmenistan has successfully implemented an open-door policy, expanding its cooperation with dozens of countries around the world, including large international financial institutions and foreign companies with extensive experience and advanced technologies in various fields. As a result, great opportunities have opened up for further development of trade economic relations. As noted at this conference, joining forces to achieve the sustainable development goals and address the adverse effects of COVID-19 infection are currently one of the most important challenges of the time.
COVID-19 yuqancının oňaýsız täsirlerini aradan aýyrmak döwrüň iň wajib meseleleriniň biri bolup durýar. Bu pandemiýanyň dünýäde ilki gören günlerinde
From the first days of pandemic in the world, in Turkmenistan was developed a unified national strategy to combat it in Turkmenistan. The Governmental Commission on Disease Control and Prevention was established and a special plan was developed. These efforts, which have helped prevent the spread of COVID-19 virus in our country, are still ongoing. We believe that through the joint efforts of the global community, the COVID-19 pandemic will be completely defeated all over the world. Dear conference participants, the conference speeches highlighted the importance of regional and international transit corridors. Turkmenistan, located at the crossroads of the ancient Great Silk Road, is carrying out large-scale work to create modern transport corridors. In recent years, under the leadership of the esteemed President Gurbanguly Berdimuhamedov, thousands of kilometers of roads and railways, new bridges, international airports, and a new international seaport, which is an important part of regional and international transport corridors, have been built in our country. Today, within the framework of the policy of good neighbor alliance and regional rapprochement, the Turkmenistan, Afghanistan, Pakistan, India gas pipeline, Turkmenistan, Afghanistan, Pakistan power transmission line, fiber optic communication system will contribute to international economic cooperation. Dear conference participants, we are now preparing to reestablish our former relationships in a more perfect way in the post-pandemic era. As noted, the implementation of such effective consultations, improvement of legislation, in-depth study of positive practices and proposals, the correct use of new scientific achievements, and an active transition to a digital system will have a positive impact on the economy and development of states. Ensuring sustainable economic development will increase the chances of peoples to live happily and work creatively in conditions of peace and mutual trust. Dear conference participants, we believe that today's meeting, which provides an opportunity to exchange experience in the relevant field, will contribute to strengthening our parliamentary and friendly relations between our peoples. Taking this opportunity, I want to wish you all the best in your future endeavors. Thank you for the attention.
Thank you, Madam. May I now request His Excellency Mr. Ismailov Nuruddin John Moyuddin Khanovich, Speaker of the Legislative Assembly of Holy Majlis of Republic of Uzbekistan.
Hurmatli Janob Asad Qaysar, hurmatli parlament rahbarlari, muhtaram konferensiya ishtirokchilari. Avvalambor iqtisodiy hamkorlik tashkiloti parlament
Değerli arkadaşlarım, öncelikle in the second Parliamentary Assembly of ECO, I am confident that Parliamentary Assembly of the ECO, formed on the basis of a common religion, historical and cultural ties, will become an effective mechanism of regional cooperation. As our organization enters into a new era of the development, we must be ready to overcome any challenges and threats together to make full use of existing potential. We have very important tasks ahead staying in front of us in this regard. And PICA conference created favorable conditions not only for multilateral but also for bilateral dialogue. PICA gave impetus to the parliaments of member states to participate in joint projects in commerce, logistics, and energy areas.
Xalqlarimizning farovonligini oshirishda xizmat qiladi degan umiddamiz. Shu o'rinda tashkilotimiz oldida turgan muhim va ustuvor masalalar.
At this point, I would like to inform you that important and prior matters facing our organization are reflected in the declaration adopted today, and we support it.
Bu ham mana konferensiya doirasida ko'pgina uchrashuvlar va muloqotlar o'tkazildi. Ya'ni parlament delegatsiyalari.
Also, I am very grateful for the creation of excellent conditions that we could openly and sincerely communicate with each other and deeply study the parliaments, the activity of the parliaments of our member states. Dear participants of the event, in conclusion, I would like to once again express my sincere gratitude to the government of the Islamic Republic of Pakistan, to the Speaker of National Assembly of Pakistan, to my brother, His Excellency Asad Qaysar, for organizing this dialogue at very high level. I wish you good health, happiness, and great strength and success in your honorable work to increase the prestige and efficiency of our organization.
Xalqaro kodeksni qabul qilish masalasi ilgari surilgan. Mana shu borada ishlar olib borilyapti.
We also try to draw your attention to develop a new to enhance our legislative legal database.
With the closing remarks of all the visiting Excellencies, we have come to the conclusion. But before we conclude, may I request all the speakers to join the President of PICO for a group photo along with the declaration copies.
ECO पार्लिमानी असम्बली का अख्तामी इजलास इस वक्त इस्लामाबाद में जारी है और इस इजलास में इस वक्त ग्रुप फ़ोटो बनाया जा रहा है जिसके बराह रास्त मनाज़िर आप अपनी टेलीविज़न स्क्रीन्स पर मुलाहिज़ा कर रहे हैं। इस्लामाबाद में ये कॉन्फ्रेंस इस वक्त जारी है, अख्तामी इजलास है।
Ladies and gentlemen, shortly we will be joined by the Prime Minister of the Islamic Republic of Pakistan, His Excellency Mr. Imran Khan. The Prime Minister would be joining us in this hall. So we will have a 15 minutes break. You can enjoy the tea outside the hall, but I request you to be in time and come back to the hall.
ECO पार्लिमानी असम्बली की दूसरी जनरल कॉन्फ्रेंस का अख्तामी इजलास इस्लामाबाद में मुनक़िद किया गया। ये इजलास इस वक्त इस्लामाबाद में जारी है। कुछ ही देर में आपको बराह रास्त लिए चलेंगे जहां वज़ीर आज़म इमरान खान इस इख्तितामी इजलास से खिताब भी करेंगे। न्यूज़ स्टूडियो से फिल वक्त इतना ही। मज़ीद बाखबर रहने के लिए हमारे साथ रहिए।
他说这个钢琴或者是什么东西，我们想讲的，以后在 KPK 上有用的，或者是全巴基斯坦可以用。
相对来说，我们的产量可以辐射到全巴基斯坦。
जी इनके मुताबिक ये प्रोड्यूस तो इस KPK में करेंगे, लेकिन इनके मुताबिक ये पूरे पाकिस्तान में कहीं भी यूज़ के लिए अवेलेबल हैं। स्पेशली फर्स्ट इनकी जो मेन एम है ये है कि हमारी लोकल इकॉनमी को इम्प्रूव करना, KPK प्रोविंस को कि इसमें डेवलपमेंट में इनके असिस्टेंस प्रोवाइड करना, और उसके बाद पाकिस्तान में भी जहाँ जहाँ इनकी मटेरियल रिक्वायरमेंट है या जो भी है उसको ये पूरा करने की सलाहियत रखते हैं।
यहाँ कितने रोज़गार के मौके मिलेंगे, कितना लेबर वर्क यहाँ इंगेज होगा, और आपका अगर कोई रेशियो है आपके पास तो वो अगर आप हमारे नाजरीन को बता दें तो।
他说以后在这家公司几个人可以来找工作，当地人。
我们单单第一期投产之后，就可以给当地就业这一块解决300人的就业。然后我们3期全部投产之后，大概给这边的当地可以提供1000人的就业。
हाँ जी, जैसा कि हमारे जनरल मैनेजर का कहना है कि हमारा फर्स्ट फेज़ इस ईयर के लास्ट पे या इंशाल्लाह नेक्स्ट ईयर के स्टार्ट में कंप्लीट होगा, जिसमें हम 300 लोकल पीपल को जॉब देने के मतलब 300 लोकल पीपल को जॉब देंगे, और उसके बाद जैसा कि हमारा सेकंड फेज़ 2024 में कंप्लीट होगा, इसी तरह 300-350 मोर, एंड देन 2026 में 300-350 मोर। तो ये टोटल मिला के आई गेस 1000-1100 के करीब हम लोगों को रोज़गार के मौके